Hi guys, today we're going to be seeing what if the UK over here had a civil war. So we're going to see if Scotland and Northern Ireland here, they were just sick of being the minority and not having too much of a say in government since this part has a higher population, England and Wales, and they were just sick of it. So they decided to declare independence and now they're in war with the UK. So let's see how this goes. So let's just start off with the allies of the blue side or the real UK. We have pretty much all of NATO sending in supplies, and allies with Scotland is probably more of the east, like Russia, China, Belarus, those types of countries who want to see the UK government overthrown to weaken NATO. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. At first, the UK military wasn't really there, and there's a really good base I think around here in Scotland, a very important military base with nuclear submarines and nukes. So Scotland is able to advance into the northern part of the UK pretty much with ease, as the UK was not expecting this, and but eventually they're stopped around here and for a couple of months it stays like this. But then, wanting some action, the UK sends a naval landing to take back Northern Ireland, which goes pretty successfully until they're stopped right here from Scottish and Northern Ireland troops. So this is what the fronts look like right now, and the UK has devised a plan. It is going to try and take the military base here or here to weaken Scotland and weaken its ability, and they're also try and push them back. So first phase of the plan, they encircle a bunch of troops here, and they decide to surrender, and then they move up to Scotland. Try their main goal also is to capture Edinburgh. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the capital of Scotland. Northern Ireland is able to hold off the line for a little while until this happens, but then they get reinforcements because the Scottish know that if the British capture this, they're probably going to lose another front and they're probably going to do a naval landing here. So they sent some troops over, and the British are being kicked out of Northern Ireland. So it's almost non existent. So then what happens is Scotland knows that it doesn't really stand too much of a chance, so it's going to try and open up as many fronts as possible. With those nuclear submarines, they're able to go undetected here and make a naval landing here. They push in some of their troops, and well, eventually they're stopped when some British troops get out of this front here to go and attend to the problem here, and this allows it to be easier to invade the British. So now Scotland is back to winning. They unite their fronts, and now the UK is kind of in a tight spot here, as now Wales is being invaded as well. The British are kicked out of Northern Ireland, and it's not looking too good for the British. Can they come back? But now, all of a sudden, a lot of supplies are coming in from NATO to keep this Scottish government from overthrowing the current one, and those supplies come, and the UK does an Uno reverse card. They decide to do a naval landing here, and this is a good Uno reverse card. They also take some military bases here along the coast. They capture the nuclear submarines, and this stops Scottish's main ability, Scotland. And now they're being pushed back. These troops get encircled, and they eventually have to surrender, and now Scotland is being pushed back. And these forces, they're quite worried because this front over here plans are trying to capture Edinburgh and cut off some supply lines. They cut off the supply lines here, up to here for now, and that's when they start encountering more resistance. But then enough troops get in the area, and then all the Scottish troops over here are now encircled and are forced to surrender. Yeah. So now it's not looking too good for Scotland. And yeah. So then, after a couple of months of it staying like this, the UK is able to break through the lines and capture Edinburgh. This these Scottish forces surrender, and seeing no point in to keep fighting, Scotland here decides to also surrender. But Northern Ireland does not. So troops are gathered, and they kind of make like a D-Day thing, only on a lesser scale, and they start to invade Northern Ireland again. Northern Ireland is able to handle this barrage of British troops for a couple of months. They even are able to make a counteroffensive, but it's not able to still defend against the British. They eventually find a crack in the lines, and Northern Ireland surrenders. So yeah, now the UK, after this big shock, it's kind of like its economy went down because they lost a lot of oil because Scotland has a lot of oil, and yeah, the economy is just not doing too hot for the British. So they give the Scottish more rights, they give it more freedoms, all that kind of jazz, and they allow it to be more self-autonomous, if that means anything, but they are not allowed to leave the UK. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button like the UK smashed Scotland and Northern Ireland. No offense to those people. And yeah, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye!